Yes, Lord, welcome to my shop. Out here a little bit is today. Happy New Year to you. Hope you're having a great start to a fantastic 2018. Wow, 2018. Who believed it? Well, I don't know. Alright, hey, I'm out turning some things today, and I want to show you a little something about embellishing. It's a simple little trick, but it's something you can play with. All you got to do, you know the deal. You got to watch. Hey, here's the deal. I want to take a bracelet that I turned. Where were you at? And I'm putting it back on a It's a piece of magnolia that guy sent me. Really nice. Mr. Jones sent me this wood, and it was in blocks or staves, and I decided to slice off some of it and make some bracelets out of it. So I've got this one. I did it at 2 5/8 of an inch because my bride says that's the perfect size to get her hand. I can't get mine in. And I have finished the inside, and I did that sanding it to maybe 400, and then I put about 3 coats of super glue on it to put a finish on it that's slick as babies. And that's what I'm going to start with. I'm putting it on here, and then I'm going to use my special one-of-a-kind super duper tapper in place tool. I'm going to find it. Here it is. This is a very special tool. If you don't have one, you should make one. It's a stick with wood on it, like a thumping hammer, and I can tighten it up, put it on there. Now, while I'm talking about that, I always share tips and hints with you when I got them. I'm thinking that the super glue might stick to the finish, and it might stick, and I had one little problem getting off yesterday. Had to get the thumper out and go the other way. All right? So I thought, well, I'll just get some wax paper. Cut right wax paper. It's in the grocery store. And I'll put that wax paper on there, and then it won't stick. It'll be the insulated between here and here. So I go to the hardware store, the grocery store, Winn-Dixie. And I'm looking and looking and telling you, hey, I'm looking for wax paper. Kid tells me, they don't make that anymore. What do you mean? He said, well, we got clear film, stretch film. He was telling me all the names. I got all those things. But the one I really like working with when I'm working with adhesives and epoxies is waxed paper. So if you don't have any, get a hold of some. If you got some, jack the price up. It's worth something. All right, let me move the camera around a little bit and then we get a better start. Don't have wax paper anymore. I had to go back and see it, kid, because it's not the brand I thought it was. It's Reynolds Cut Right wax paper. Look at that. Reynolds Cut Right. And it's on a roll and everything, and you just, this is old, man. This is old wax paper. So get a piece off. Tear a piece. And then the piece that you're working on, so you're to bind a little bit, you just do a quick wrap around it. This is not art, okay? This is not art. And if it's not perfect, I won't tell. I'll wrap it around there, and then I'm going to put the bracelet back on. And then when I tap it in place, I've got an insulator between this and this. That's what I was telling you about. And it's a piece of wax paper. And when it's all done, the glue sticks to it, I can get that off of the buffing wheel. All right, now, again, we're going to get out that high-tech thumper. Looks just like my shop-made parting tool, doesn't it? Just like it. I put them both down at one spot. Hard time. What am I doing? I'm looking at it to see if it's running true. I want it running true. So if I got a little high spot, I want to tighten up a little bit on the high spot. Now, this is all the grip I'm going to do for holding this piece. This is it. I'm going to shield up, and I heard about that from you guys. Shield up is an important thing. I harp on it because if you get hurt, you might not come back. If you don't come back, I'll lose a friend. So, shield up. And mine's in pretty good shape. I got one spot of super glue right there. Right there. It's yellow. It might be epoxy. Huh. But I bought replacement shields when I bought it. This is the Uvex Bionic. You got my name on it and all that. Keep me protected. Keep you protected. All right. Now I'm going to fire up. I'm using a 3/8 inch deep fluted bowl gouge. This is very similar to the Ellsworth gouge. I've sharpened it on my own personal grinder. You see that double bevel? That's the relief in the back over there. That way is a relief. And this is a cutting edge. And they're very sharp. I just touched it up on the Black Hawk rig just a minute ago. Now, I'm going to go in and my cuts are going to be from here to here. I'm pushing it onto the mandrel. Shields up. I'm going to hit the brakes. I want to show you something. The way I'm working this, I'm going in and I'm getting just a slight bit of cut on the edge. And then I'm rolling my tool open a little bit to increase the cutter or the bite for the tool. Not like this. Man, like this I can throw shavings from here to Baton Rouge, which is that way, over there, yeah. But I don't want to do that. I want to shave this off. And look at, you can see the reflection. I am burnishing it down, all right, but I'm getting good, clean cuts all the way through here. Now, if I had raw edges there, it means I was tearing. I don't want to be tearing. I want to be slicing. Sliced wood sands, finishes, and looks a whole lot better than torn wood. Shields up. Now to cut this, it's running, it's pretty straight. I haven't sanded it at all. You've been here, we haven't sanded it. And I'm going to take this little blade, see a little teardrop blade, and I'm going to put a couple of scribes on here. Watch. Shield up. No magic, right? No magic. Now I'm going to take my shop-made wire burner, see a little wooden ball with a piece of music wire between it. We're going to burn those lines in. I used to say when I was a kid, puff of smoke, hi-ho, silver. Those are burned in. Those are a permanent part of the decoration now. Now I spaced those out there about 5/16 apart. They're just happy in the middle to be there. Now I'm going to back up and sand a little bit. Make it look pretty. Now I took my soft pads. This comes from Vince Welch, Vince's Wooden Wonders. And I've went 80, 120, and 180. And now I'm going to go over to my 3-inch disc. That's my normal weapon of sanding. Right now I've got it at 220 or 180 or whatever. 180, pardon. And the wax paper, it's going away. I've hit it a couple of times and sanded on it. It's okay. It's not going to bother me. Now I'm going to sand this down to probably a 400, and then I'm going to seal it. And that's going to give me a glass finish on this piece. Now I've already done this edge and this edge. So I'm going to sand up to them, clean them up a little bitty bit, maybe flip this around to make sure I don't have any voids, and then touch up the sanding again. And that's going to give me an awesome finish. You want to see it, man? It's good. Shields up. I did a bracelet video the other day, and I showed you, and I was amazed of it. And Ronnie caught me at a shop yesterday, and he was telling me, boy, you really were surprised. Look how nice that looks. You can see there's a little bit of chatoins in it. I got the 2 burn lines. I have sanded to 800 grit. Now I want you to see something. But you see this? These are bare fingers. I'm going to get smart this time and put a glove on. I got out my nitro gloves. These are from Home Depot. They're not very elaborate or expensive, but they'll keep things from sticking to my fingers. And let me tell you, the real reason is this. The new computer I have, it's got one of those buttons that you push to read your fingerprint. If it's been sanded off, it doesn't read it. And if it's caked with super glue, it doesn't read it. There's a purpose for everything. All right, now, I want you to see this. I'm going to slow it down. We're going to do it right in order. So let's get on in there. Come on, get in there. All right, you see it? Kind of plain. Watch what happens. No power. I'm just going to put super glue on that piece of napkin or blue paper towel. Now, I'm blocking the shot because I want you to see the difference. Look at it. Isn't that amazing? But look. It went through the glove and went through the paper and found the glove. And I don't really need to get off, but if I did, then I got to have a hole in the glove. See that? So the purpose is to not peel it off the glove. But that's one quick pass. Look at this chatoin. Watch it. Reflection. See, my wife says I got to stop using the term chatoins. It sounds kind of but it's the truth. It lets the color of the wood come through. As we're all on page 1, this is about 2 coats of the CA. I had a guy call me the other day, that's a lot of wasted CA. That is a 2-ounce bottle from Starbond. That's what I get my CA in. Really, I get it in 16-ounce bottles, and I transfer it to a 2-ounce bottle, and only go about halfway up when I fill it up. But I can go through that 16 ounces in maybe a year. Really, it's not that much super glue. Don't go to the grocery store. Don't go to Winn-Dixie and get super glue. When you need CA, go to those folks right there. Starbond. Google it. You'll find them. They're in California. Don't go to anybody else. Go to those folks. And I'm using the EMO2, which is they're really fine. 2 coats on. I buffed between the coats, between the first and second coat, I buffed it with a gray Scotch-Brite pad. Buffed it down and got the high points off and slicked it out. Now that I've got the 2 coats on, I'm going to go to a very soft Scotch-Brite type pad right here. And this doesn't have any product on it. This is just clean. And I want to buff it again before I put my next coat on. Shields up. That's almost it. Almost. I added 1 more coat and then I buffed that out a little bit and I have a very nice finish. It might not be the finest in the world. It doesn't look like it's plastic, but it's wood. And I made it. It's not got to be perfect. This has got to be something I like to make. Bracelet's thin. It's the right width. And I'm going to make another one different width. You know that. But I'm going to buff it right now with this. This is that Meguiar's? Plastex. It says used on headlights, and there's other stuff on here that Great for wood turn finishes. It's right. It's in white print at the bottom down there, but really great. I get this at AutoZone, the wood turner's friend. A little bit on the pad. Keep it moving, don't let it get hot. You don't want to affect the finish, you just have to buff it off a little bit. Get hot, you'll destroy it. That. Now I have a little bit of that white rouge down in those cracks. Can you get in there and see that? See it? Alright, what are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about that? We're going to get our wire burner back up. Fire back up. Clean it up, wire burner. Now it looks like it's plastic. The beauty of these little projects, they're little projects. You know what it's like to go out and get instant fulfillment, or instant gratification when you go out and shop and you make something that somebody really likes and appreciates. This is not a difficult project. Soup the nuts from cutting it on a bandsaw, putting it in the other gold jaws to hold it, putting the penetration in it, flipping it over here, putting a finish on the outside with 2 beads of ornamentation. I got more to show you. 2 beads of ornamentation. Total time, 8 minutes. But this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. So if you spend a little more time, spend a little more time. You think you'd be happy with it? Be happy with it. Now, here, that's the secret of this wax paper. I'm glad they don't make that anymore. That's it. I gotta go over here. Look at that. That is a wood bracelet. All wood. Yes, it's less than a 1/4 inch thick. It's very light. I'd wear it with my best dress. And I got the burn marks in it. And it accents it. Actually, those marks accent the grain of the wood. And that's, oh, I got a remote here someplace. Here, look. See it? That's what we're trying to do. Let the wood speak for itself. I got this done. I'm going to take the little fine Scotch-Brite and just knock off any little trash that might have stuck on it from the wax paper. Very little. This is, man, if it was this smooth, we'd be dating. Okay. Clean that off a little bit. Feel around, see if there's any you know they're going to feel the imperfections, so you want to buff it a little bit just to make sure there's just not something latent sticking on it, or a little spot of, like right here, a little spot of super glue right on the edge there. Comes right off of the pad. It's really nice. I get my sanding supplies from Vince Welch at Vince's Wooden Wonders, and I put his name up on the thing. You see the little thing, Vince Wooden Wonders. Why? Because when I got into this, I was looking for sandpaper and I was going to the hardware store. Big mistake. Not going to the hardware store, buying sandpaper at the hardware store. So I get my disc and all my scrub pads and my foams and all that from Vince because they actually work better for me. And I like it. And he's a great guy. Talk to him. Don't let him say any insurance or anything. Hey, he's terrible about that. Well, that's it. We did a simple little project. Something you can give away, be proud of, and in my case, I got to make them different sizes because I said I could. So the next one I have 1 bead on it, and then I might play with it and do 2 and 2 beads, and show you what the accent, what the beading tools will do when you, because I didn't use the beading tool, I used the sharp tool. But it's a simple little project. Hope you get out there and start making shavings. Yeah, making shavings right here. Yeah. I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and be good. See you soon. Happy New Year again. This is nice. You thought we were finished, didn't you? Well, that's what you get for not watching the end of the video. That's it. It's where the important stuff is, like my name and my address. Big Guy Productions. That's where we sell carbide cutters cheaper than anybody else on the planet. We have all these other great things, and we help you out and all that. Well, I told you is not a word. My brother would use that word. Billy would have done that. But I told you on a while back, when you're making them, go into stages. When you make the insides, and you get your right, you get your 2 and I'm at 2 5/8, and that's what the bride likes. And then I've got the wood cut out, sliced out. I'm going to put it in my jaws here. This is my Stronghold one-way chuck with my jumbo jaws, and an adapter is made out of 3/4 inch plywood that's bolted here and screwed from the back, screwed in 2 places so it doesn't shift any. This is a very stable turning platform. I can put the block in there and shape it up. Now what I did just now was do 2. Can you see the differences? I'm looking at you over there. See you over there? That's where you are. Right over there. See that? Yeah. But I made them in 2 different thicknesses. Why? Because I got a special request. So I'm going to have this. And what I want to do now, say I did 6 or 8, 10 or 12 or 14 or 2. And I now want to put the embellishment on it. I'm going to take off this jam chuck, or this faceplate chuck. You see, I'm bolted through here. I have wing nuts on it, but then I've got these little screws that are stabilizing from shifting this way. This holds it on, this keeps it from shifting. This is all on my Stronghold chuck, jumbo jaws. I think they got a number on these things. Jumbo jaws. Part number 2136. 8N2136. Is that it? Yeah, well, that's the code. I'm going to put this away and put my other chuck on. You ready? You ready? Did I say get ready? Get ready. Sometimes I got to do things 2 or 3 times to make sure that you're watching. This is a strip of the Reynolds cut right wax paper I bought at the grocery store. Before the young man told me they quit making it anymore. Well, they really don't, but you should have some in your shop. Because it's a great buffer. It's a great thing. You're doing glue-ups or epoxies, special finishes. A strip of this cut right wax paper, and there's no magic to it. See it right there. What's in the grocery store? A strip of that, and the adhesive won't bond to it, won't stick to it, and it's easy to clean off. It's easier to clean off the table saw after you've glued on your table saw and it's stuck. Now I'm going to put the rings on. I'm going to get out my, and I was told to refer to this as a patented thumper, because I can charge more for the details in the sketch. I'm going to get my thumper. You like that? It's also a parting tool made out of a saw blade, but it's a thumper. And it's going to tap it gently, slide it on that wax paper, and get to where it won't spin. That's what I want. I want a good friction fit. Now I can tear off some of this paper and get it out the way, because it's going to go brrrr. That's a sound effect. All right, now I'm ready. Now I'm going to reduce this in the height or the thickness and start the embellishment. You with me? I thought you were. Okay, I had a little pit stop. I made some cuts. Remember I'm telling you to cut from here and go that way? Here, that way, towards the chuck. Well, I got smart and I saw I'd make a pass here. It went there. These things around, it went rolled halfway to Wagaman before it stopped. So I put it back on, used the thumper, got it tight again. But that just shows it'll come off easy. Don't let it come off easy. Shields up. I've got a slight curve to it. I want to dress up the other side. I can shear scrape a little bit over here to bring that back. That's where I want to be. I moved you so you can see. I am at the thickness I want, the width I want, but I'm not saying that I'm scraped. See the little bump? That's a tear. I got a little chatoyance right there, which means I'm going to have a nice looking piece. But now I want to put the embossing in, or the grooves, and then I can go ahead and do the sanding. I'm going to use the from D-Way tools. This is a beading tool, because it's going to give me a nice bead with a center if I go carefully. Carefully. Shields up. Because of that cutter, the slight crown, I now have some nice softened edges in there. I didn't get exactly in the middle. You know it and I know it. Just don't tell anybody else, okay? Now, I'm going to take my wire burner and make those marks permanent. Shields up. A puff of smoke and high-ho silver. It is there. That's the embellishment. Now sand it out. Got it? Got it. Once again, I'm going to show you the change. This has just been sanded to 800 grit. I don't normally go that high, but this is special. It's like jewelry. Well, it is jewelry. Now, let's go ahead. Here's the CA. Look at the difference. The wood was sanded right, the finish is good, and it's bringing out the chatoyance, or the cat's eye of the wood. So the reflectivity of the wood is coming back, coming out. It's naturally there, all you gotta do is make it come out. Now, see the color shifts? Yeah. And, oh, there's a real bright one right there. See, and that's what you're looking for, the beauty of that to the eye. Now, I'm gonna do 3 coats of super glue, CA, right there. Boop, boop, boop. There you go. All right. And then I'm going to buff it out and put some polish on it. Got it? Got it. Hey, I'm doing these bracelets not to bore you to death with bracelets and ink pens and things like that. There's techniques and tips into all these that you can use on all your turnings. Put in even grooves and burning them in can be done on the edge of a bowl, a platter, a goblet, a bottle stopper, a pen. Wow. If it spins, you can put a mark on it. I want to do it with some Formica samples, and they're up there, and I'll find them soon. I keep looking up there, but tomorrow management's coming in to help me. We'll clean that shelf off, and I'll probably find gold and silver in piles. I gotta have it, you know, I got to. But okay, I'm using this jam chuck to do this. What I want to talk to you about is this jam chuck. Let's look how easy it is to get things on and off of it. Boop, it comes off. I got a little trace of wax paper on it. But when I pulled it off just now, when I'm putting the finish on, a smart move would be to just flip it around, ease it back on, buff it again, and then put another coat on it. Why? Well, one way I was filling grooves going like this, and the other way I was filling the grooves going like this. Do you see what I mean? I'll get an even more uniform finish without reversing the lathe, just by reversing how it fits on the chuck. It's a way to go. It's all in the details, really. and the details will accent your work. I took a simple bracelet we started with the other day, and I expanded it a little bit. What did I expand it to? To different sizes of bracelets, widths, and stuff. Let's get in here, take a look. I've got a small, medium, and large. And a burnet line on all three of them, because I wanted to show you how to do that. Really should have checked with management, because now she wants a couple with earth lines burned on them. Then I thought, well, I'll stain them and color them with some Color Fast. And I was just told, no, I won't. It's funny how things I wonder about, I don't know about. But then I'm just a slave around here. I mean, pardon me, I'm just work here. When you get them done, sit with them and detail them out. Buff them out a little bit. Don't wax them. I might have showed you one the other day where I smeared wax on it. Don't wax them just yet. Make sure you got the finish perfect, and then you can just hand apply some wax and make it look really nice. So, one more tip and hint on how to get out and have a little fun in the shop making shavings. Now I'm done. Go away. Bye. I got points for this. Oh, wee. How do I hide the lines?